Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unschooling Lifestyle. Today, I have a very special guest. Her name is Noélia Rodriguez, and she is in Portugal, and she's a real estate agent in Portugal that helps with relocation services. So we're gonna talk all about Portugal. So, hi, Noélia. How are you?
Thank you for the opportunity to have this interview with you. And yeah, to speak a little bit about how is the life in Portugal, homeschooling, unschooling, child, and yeah, I'm looking forward for this interview.
I love it. So let's start with where in Portugal, like what part of Portugal are you? Where are you at?
Exactly in the middle,
Okay.
Central Portugal. Mhm. We are sort of at the same sort of latitude of Coimbra,
Okay.
between Coimbra by the border with Spain.
Okay.
It's called Castello, and the district is called Penamacor.
Oh, okay.
It's one of
Okay.
the populated areas in Portugal, which means that there is a lot of affordable land still to be found, all abandoned farms that have been abandoned for 20, 30 years. And in the last 10 years, there has been a big movement of people like us moving into this area. So we are quite blessed to have a lot of alternative people and a lot of nice, great, different minds.
Okay.
And the population, the local people, yeah, they're a bit surprised. Like, what are these? Oh, suddenly, all of these foreigners around the world moving here, buying abandoned farms. But I'm sure many people in this channel will understand. There is
Okay.
nothing like you on food, have your children feeling wandering around hectares of land.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's
Yes.
something I'm very involved with the homeschooling alternative community, which
Okay.
is something that I want to try as well. At the minute, we both work full time, my partner and me. So
Okay.
obviously, in that
Yeah.
homeschooling doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, slowly we're getting more and more families. And hopefully we can get a nucleus of a couple of families same age, and then we can start properly homeschooling.
Okay. Yeah, that makes it. Yeah, I totally understand about not being able to do it because you have to work and all that stuff though. So are there people, the people that, like they homeschool, unschool, are they more foreign, like from different countries than people that are born in Portugal? Is-
We have a mix of different nationalities.
Okay.
Like one of my friends, Marta Carvalho, she
Mm-hmm.
runs an alternative forest school. She is Portuguese, not from this region,
Okay.
but from another region. She lives in this amazing 75-hectare quinta in the mountain.
Oh,
So
that
she
sounds
started the
beautiful.
It's beautiful. The farm has never been abandoned for 500 years. It's always been living. So it's
Wow.
all really, it's like a, and yes, he got two kids, more or less the same age. Well, one is younger, the other is a bit older.
Mm-hmm.
And he's running from this year an alternative school called Aurora in the Quinta de Bazagueda that is drawing a lot of new people into the region. It's focusing kids over 4, but under 8. So as long as the kid will grow, the age will also change, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got a lot of nationality. They got German, British, Israelis, Portuguese.
Okay.
So yeah, interesting. So there
That's
is already
so that's starting to grow as a community. So so when you go to Portugal, so there's a different get like in your friends like forest school, can you go in for just like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or do you have to have a commitment of time?
I think they will prefer a commitment in the sense for the follow up of the kid, but they do trials. So they do day trials. So you can just come for families that are traveling around and they just want to try and see. They will do a day trial or a week trial, but ideally they want them enroll per month in a
Permanently,
monthly
yeah.
basis.
That makes sense though. So
Get a,
are those the families that you work with, like trying to help them find a home that could be like more long term?
yeah, most of the people that attend the school in the past they have used my services for one reason or another, the property for translation. So yeah, I have a good relationship with Marta from the beginning when I moved here 5 years ago. there weren't that many families with kids. So we were one of the few under 30s in the region. If that's it used to draw at the beginning more like pre-retired people plus 55.
Okay.
That they for early retirement, they moved to the countryside. But nowadays we have a lot of people from all nationalities, backgrounds, and especially family with kids. So it's a good thing.
Yeah. So what are so when you as a foreigner, or like me, for example, like coming from the US, what kind of visa or paperwork do you need to be there long term? Like, I know you can visit, but what are the steps to be there longer than just, like a vacation?
I mean, everyone, depending on the nationality, but most nationalities will get 90 days free entry visa, 3 months. So you can, within 3 months, enter into the Schengen area. And we got 27 countries. After 3 months, you got to exit 3 months. So either you go to the UK, Norway, Switzerland, or a bit further to the Balkan countries, Northern Africa, and then return. So many people, British people, have to do this nowadays because of the Brexit. But if you want to stay long term, there is alternative options. There is the digital nomad visa, the D7 as well, or passive income, they call it, which is if you're a retired or you have some sort of regular income, could be like a rental of your house in America, could be something like, I don't know, earnings, shares, anything that you can have that is over the minimum wage in Portugal, which is around 740 per month, and then a bit more for every partner and every kid. And in that sense, if you can show this and have some savings, you may be able to get a D7 visa. And then with that, you get residency and you will get healthcare, free healthcare, or other things like education if you want to opt out for school. So that's one of the ways to get it. Yeah, and there is another option called the golden visa.
Okay.
Which you have to do a higher investment. In the south, in the seaside area, big cities, it was around €500,000. In the rural area, it was more like 250 to 350,000 investment. And then you buy a property, and then you're granted a visa, and then you can bring your family and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, that was another option if you wanted to stay longer. But there is talk in the parliament now, they want to scrap this golden visa.
I heard that.
It was increasing a lot, the real estate prices. Only rich people were going to be able to afford anything. And yeah. Anyway, we don't know if they're going to stop it or not. But the D7, the digital nomad, and seems to be, if you want to be here for long term, it seems to be the best option nowadays.
That's really cool, though. Now, when you mentioned those farms that were abandoned, they had been abandoned for a long time. So how are those farms for sale? Like, can you buy one, or who owns them since they've been abandoned?
Well, families own them still. Portuguese
Okay.
families own it. But because they used to have like many kids, and sometimes you find out that there is 13, 14 people who own it because the land isn't worth that much money. They don't even want to come from Lisbon to sell it. So it's one of these strange things. Slowly they're getting sold. But yeah, they are owned it. There's one that owned them, but they've been neglected and abandoned for the last 20, 30 years plus.
Oh, wow. And then, so now as the real estate prices kind of have gone up a little bit, so when you're trying to rent like a place for like a family of 4, what kind of rental prices are you looking at?
In the countryside, you can still find houses, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, for around 400, 500 euros.
Oh,
if you're
wow.
lucky. But there is not many. I must say, they are like gold dust, unicorns. Once you grab one, don't let it go.
Okay.
And most of the people that bought this abandoned farm like us, slowly they are restoring the ruins, they're offering for accommodations. But still, we have such an influx of people looking for a place to stay and very little rentals available
Okay.
In my agency, every day I got like 1 or 2 people coming asking for rentals, and
Oh, wow.
Portuguese and foreigner, not just. But yeah, many people when I moved here, most of
Oh,
the houses are in or abandoned and not places for the people to live. It's quite an strange thing.
wow.
But
That's pretty yeah, that's pretty amazing though. 400, 500 euros. Yeah, you couldn't find anything here at least the city. But I'm guessing probably the city is a lot more expensive, right?
yeah,
Like
if you want to rent something in Lisbon, Porto, you're talking at least 1,000 to 1,500
mm-hmm.
euros easily. If you want to be in the center of the center,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, the more of the suburbs you go, the less you get. But over there, you'll get like a really old apartment, and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense though. So, so for the digital nomads, like for the people that have like they moved there, they work remote, and they have children, is it easy for them to like perhaps like integrate into like a school or or I guess I'm trying to see. So if you go there, like what are their activities? What are their lives for the children like? For say like a forest school. You mentioned your friend has a forest school. What other options do they have?
Well, we have also really amazing lakes because we are far away from the seaside, but we have really big lakes with water activities.
Oh,
We
I
have a
love
lot
that.
of nature world, life experience with growing food permaculture, a lot of monuments. We have a lot of castles to visit. Um, we don't have too many shopping malls.
That's
I
okay.
like
I don't. I think everybody could use a little less of that. So yeah.
um, but yeah, I think depending if you're like a nature-oriented family, you
Mm-hmm.
think you will have it in here. It does get really hot during the summer and really could be wet, very wet during the winter. The winter is a bit of a hit and miss. Sometimes it's really lovely and hot. Sometimes it's super raining for 2 or 3 months. And you never know. You can never predict the winter. But summer, we can. And it's always really hot.
Oh. I don't know. And so when people call you, what can you do when people call you? What is your process to working with them?
Well, depending what the needs are, no. First, we need to hear what the needs are, what they're looking. If they're looking for a property to buy or to rent, and then it's a bit like we call the qualification of the buyer, and
Okay.
then we ask the budget because it's important, the number of bedrooms that they need, and then we try to find something in the local market. It's much easier here to buy than to rent, like we spoke about it before. Obviously, not everyone will have the capital to buy everything or the commitment for a region.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say to everyone, try before you buy. Stay here for a couple of months, 6 months to a year, and if you like it, buy. So many people don't like it after a year because it's like I say, too hot to call, too different. In the central of Portugal, there is very little English spoken. So if you don't speak Portuguese, you're gonna miss a lot of stuff. Or you will only hang out with the foreigner, which is if that's what you want, is perfect. But if you want to integrate with the local community, it's not that good. But yeah, usually I have a chat with them sometimes, or they come to the agencies if they're around here, and then we see what we can offer them from there.
Okay, that's beautiful though. Yeah, I love what you said though. I think most of the people that World School would like the option or would like to they like to try to integrate. I don't know, I want to say that that's how most people are because that's the reason why we travel, I think, to get to know the culture. So that's the beauty of it though.